Hey, how's it going, guys? Andy here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about my biggest gaming regrets, or collecting regrets, rather. Whether it's buying or selling or passing something up. I know I made a video about this, I think a couple months ago, but I included just like small little examples of stories. But in this series, I'm just going to talk about them in more detail, kind of give a bigger backstory to why I regretted doing this thing. So let's just jump into it. Also, I'm trying something a little bit different with my lighting setup. If you guys like it, let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, like I said, this series is going to be about talking about like some of my biggest gaming regrets, or collecting regrets, not just gaming. Whether it's passing on something, or buying something that I'm like, I probably shouldn't have bought that, or I shouldn't have spent that much on it. Or, like I said, just getting rid of something. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the time I sold all my gaming stuff, besides my N64, well, some of my N64 stuff, when I moved here to Orlando. So the backstory is, the Switch just came out, right? And I was like, I really want a Switch. I haven't bought a new system on launch and since like the PS2. So I was like, I want this new system. I want to play the new Zelda. I'm excited for it. I knew I was gonna buy one, but I didn't know when. And it was the day. It was the day the Switch launched. I went to Best Buy, not even to buy a Switch. I was like, they're gonna be sold out. It's fine. I don't care. Like it's fine. I just need an SD card and a couple small things. So I went there. Sure enough, they had a couple Switches right in the front, and I was like, oh, I could buy one. Like, I had enough money to buy one, but I was like, I don't know. So I walked around the store for a good, like, 10 or 15 minutes, then I walked up to the table. They have one left. I was like, alright, let me get the Switch, let me get Breath of the Wild, let me get a Joy-Con charging grip as well. Then I also bought Gamers Club Unlocked. In total, I spent around $500, that's with tax. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have spent that much, but you know what, I'm happy. And I told myself, if I do spend a lot of money on a Switch, that I would get rid of some of my stuff. It just so happened to be that, like, originally I was just gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna sell it. Like, why would I sell my stuff? It's fine. I can easily, recoup that money in some other way, like working or something. Something adults do. And, yeah, so I got home, I was playing, and then I just kept looking over at my stuff, and I kept looking at the pictures of the apartment that I was going to be moving into. I was like, I'm not going to have room for all this stuff. Plus, I just spent $500 that I probably shouldn't have spent. I think I gotta get rid of this stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll put all my Super Nintendo stuff on eBay, because I had a lot of Super Nintendo stuff that was pretty high value. Like, I had all the Final Fantasies. I had a really nice, almost mint condition Pocky and Rocky, really nice Turtles in Time, all the Donkey Kong Countries, all the Marios. What else? Just a bunch of stuff, stuff like that. All the Donkey Kongs. I think I already said that, but yeah. So I had at least like 20 or 25 games with a near mint Super Nintendo. I think it had one small little chip in it, but it wasn't yellowed whatsoever. Super nice. So I was like, all right, let me put this on eBay. Let's see what I get. And I got close to, with everything, I think I got close to like 500. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But then I was like, well, I don't really have room for box systems. So I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to get rid of all my box systems and games, which most of my Sega Genesis games were boxed. Like, I had Streets of Rage 1 and 2 complete in box. I had an N64 complete in box. I had bunch of the Pokemon games complete in box. Not any of the, not like the Game Boy ones. Well, one Game Boy one, Pokemon trading card game. I had that complete in box, Nier Mint. I had, like I said, just a bunch of really good stuff. Sega CD, bunch of Sega Genesis systems, bunch of GameCube stuff. So I just brought it into the flea market. There's a booth there that I was dealing with, which I ended up becoming somewhat good friends with. It's not Jody, it's another group. We worked out a deal, and I told them everything what was going on. They're like, "Oh, that's awesome! You're going to Full Sail." They do that NXT stuff. Anytime you come back, if you're able to get anything, any wrestling thing signed, let us know, and we'll give you store credit. Like, we'll work out a trade with anything that you want. I was like, that's super awesome. But I digress. I sold everything. I sold everything to them, and yeah, the reason why I regret it is because I would have more stuff than what I do now. Like, I had to rebuy all the Sega Genesis stuff. I had to buy all the Super Nintendo stuff. And it's like, all the things I have basically everything that I sold, but it's not, it's nowhere near as complete as it used to be. Like, yeah, I have all my Game Boy systems back. I have, you know, N64s. I have most of my Super Nintendo games back. The Sega Genesis games, most of the ones I have back aren't complete in box, and it's like, I wish they were complete in box. And it just kind of sucks. Like, I wouldn't have had to basically rebuy everything, and I would be able to use that money to buy other things, or more expensive things, or just stuff like that. And I just kind of kick myself. But I'm like, you know what? It happens. I got it back, and now I'm basically where my collection is basically, it's actually bigger than it was 2.5, 3 years ago, which I think is awesome. But it's like, it could have been just that much bigger. Like, I could have used, you know, all the money that I've spent. Like, I've spent quite a bit of money rebuilding my collection, and it's like, I could have used that money to, you know, expand things, to buy harder to find items for my collection, to have, you know, maybe I would have more of the Fantastic series, which I've sold, which I'm very, very picky about my consoles. I like them to be in almost perfect shape, so that I've gotten rid of quite a few Fantastic series, because I like things to be clean. If they're not, like, super clean, if I can't get them super clean, then I'm just like, I'm good. But yeah, so that's why I sold everything. I was mainly just gonna focus on N64, which, as you guys can see, where is it? Right there. It's grown quite a bit since I've moved in the last couple years. But yeah, that was just gonna be my goal: focus on N64. But I bought, you know, more stuff than that. So yeah, that's one of my biggest gaming regrets. Let me know in the comments down below. What is your biggest selling or buying or just collecting regret, is what I meant to say. Let me know in the comments down below. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.